A recent Vanguard study says that most Americans don't have enough assets to recreate the income they'll need in retirement. They haven't put away enough money. The truth is, they aren't wrong. I'll show you what they've said. I'll also point out 3 steps that you can take to get back on track if you're one of the folks that they're talking about. Vanguard puts out a lot of retirement research, which makes sense. They're one of the largest investment providers on earth. In their recent Retirement Outlook, which is a study on how ready Americans are to retire, they show that a majority of folks are on an unsustainable path. The issue is this: Social Security is designed to replace more income for low wage earners than for higher earners. As a result, that means that if you earn a good living, you're going to need to rely on your own investments, on your own portfolio for a greater portion of your retirement income. And it seems that people are overestimating exactly how much income they can create from those pools of investment. Now, as you can see from this chart, the gray bars here represent how much of your income Social Security will replace. The higher your wages, the lower the amount. And you don't need to be wealthy for this to hit you. As you can see, with a median income of only $61,000 per year, Social Security is only going to replace about 40% of your income in retirement. And that number gets worse the higher the income goes. That's because the Social Security system is, at its heart, a social safety net program. It was born out of the ashes of the Great Depression to provide supplemental retirement income for folks. The key word in that sentence is supplemental. When they designed the system, they literally put in something called bend points, which are the income levels at which they reduce the amount of benefit you will receive. The short version of the last thing that I just said is the more that you make, the less you can rely on Social Security. So you're going to need a heavier lift from your own personal assets. That's problem number one. Problem number two from the study is that folks are underestimating how much they're going to need to replace of their overall income. Lots of articles and studies say 70% of your pre-retirement income is what you'll need once you retire. Even the most aggressive benchmarks typically say you'll need around 85% of your pre-retirement income. Here's the issue: there's data among older boomers. Now, the oldest boomers are 78 years old right now. Those are folks who have been retired for some time. Data shows that they've spent an average of around 96% of their pre-retirement income in retirement. So the issue is clear. If people are saving to a target of replacing 70% of their income when they retire, but retired folks are actually spending 96% of their pre-retirement income, there's a huge gap there, and most folks aren't planning for or accounting for it. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone is in that boat, but the question is, if you are, what can you do about it? So here we go, 3 steps. Step number 1, create a concrete retirement income plan. Don't just show up to retirement and see what happens. That's a terrible plan. Figure out where you're going to draw income from in addition to things like Social Security and how sustainable that income choice is. We've got a free guide on mapping out a retirement income plan. I'll drop a link in the description. Go on down there and download it if that's something that's on your mind. Step number 2, if you've still got some work years ahead of you, if you're not on the doorstep of retirement right now, get your contribution levels up and get your expenses down. Create a plan to pay off any unnecessary debt. And if you're already debt-free, good job out of you. Now work on bumping up the amount that you're putting away for the future, because it really does add up over time. The final step, step number 3, look for what can go wrong. Even if you feel strongly about the first 2 steps, if you think that you'll have a good amount of retirement income, if you're contributing substantially to retirement today, what happens if something goes badly? What happens if you or your spouse pass away too soon? What does that do to your finances, your income? What about if one of you needs long-term care? Are you prepared for that financially? What if there's a major market meltdown? These are all things that should be addressed, and they should be addressed before they become concerns, before you retire. If you're planning your own retirement right now and you're looking for some more tips, I got you covered. Check out this video right here.